Arr. That is like the worst pirate impression.
Xbox on.
Game on, baby! Wow!
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit. I'm your host, Ross Miller, and this week I'm joined by the queen of cosplay herself. It's Carina.
Arr. That is like the worst pirate impression.
What was that a pirate impression?
Supposedly. That was really bad. You know, when you go to, you think, that's a good idea, and then as you're doing it, you decide, no, that's really not a good idea.
Oh no, you have to commit. If you're going to go pirate, you have to go...
Exactly.
Like, commit fully. If you withdraw halfway through, it's never going to work. You're going to end up sounding like a farmer.
I think that's what I did sound like.
It's just the two of us this week, because we're recording at a different time. Mainly, we're recording on the day that we release so that we can give our thoughts on the Sea of Thieves Beta. So thank you, Carina, for getting up at this time in the morning to chat, because we never record at 9 a.m.
It's too early.
It is far too early. But look, let's get straight into it. The reason why we're recording late is because the Sea of Thieves Beta has been around for about 18 hours now. Now, I know that we've both played it because we're playing it together yesterday, but I want to hear your thoughts now that finally we can have a chat about the beta.
It was so good. It's so good. I got one question though. Were the chickens?
Oh, so you're referring to the fact that there's chickens in the trailer and you haven't found them? Maybe we just haven't found them.
I know. I thought there's an island called Chicken Island, and I was expecting, a massive flock of chickens, or at least one from the trailer. And no chickens. I was disappointed.
Oh.
I wanted a ship companion, but nothing. Just have to wait for the release.
Am I not a good enough companion for you?
Unfortunately not. Not quite got that feathery aspect.
Well. But overall, of course, like part of the NDA is that we can't talk. Both of us have visited Rare. Both of us have been in the alpha for a while. We haven't really talked about it because we can't due to the NDA, and we can only talk about our experiences in the beta. But if you enjoyed yourself, I noticed you kept on playing after I went offline last night. What is some of the highlights? What's your overall thoughts about the beta so far?
It's so pretty. The sea and the sky especially. The sky at night's incredibly pretty. Definitely my favourite time of the day, except when it's storm. But even the weather's pretty stunning. I'm quite excited because I play at the moment, I do have the original Xbox with me, but we do have an X, and it'd be nice to kind of see it on the X as well, because I bet that's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But let me see, my favourite bits. I think the favourite bits are the bits it's not part of the quests. The drinking, getting drunk, putting your teammates in the brig just because it's funny. You know what I mean? Throwing people overboard. I think the bits that they leave the players to are the best bits.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. As a giant sandbox, they pitched it as a giant sandbox that you can go and do what you would like to do in the world that they've created, and the getting drunk and spewing on other people and having fun about that has definitely been the highlight for me, But is there longevity in that?
I think so. I reckon. Because, at the end of the day, in the closed beta, there was a few, customizations, and I feel like maybe they could add some really funny items into there. I don't know what, I don't know, maybe like a parrot, or like you say, an eye patch, or even, I don't know, maybe they could add, I was going to say sound effects. I like the fact they've added, I don't know if you spotted, but they've added essentially emotes. Well, not emotes, but you can dance, you can clap, you can sit. It'd be nice if they do continue with the personalisation of it, which I think they have to, because it might get boring. I think it will eventually get boring, but then again, that's what makes Sea of Thieves, so maybe that's what gives it that extra touch. So hopefully they do keep up with that.
So yeah, we had some folks on from Rare not too long ago, and it was all about progression. So we've seen some of that in the beta. We've seen the fact that you can customize yourself. I think I bought a commander's outfit or something like that.
Oh, I like the Admiral stuff.
Yeah, it's Admiral.
Really
That's
nice
what it
Admiral
was. Yeah. Although, yeah, and for those that wonder how you want to emote, you hold down on the D-pad, or if you hold directions on the D-pad, different things will come up. Like, if you're sailing the ship, you can shout instructions, for example. Like, drop the sails, do this, raise the anchor. You can do non-audible, instructions by holding one of the D-pads, which is fantastic for those that don't have a mic, for example. But let's get straight into it. We've been playing for a little bit at a time now, quite a few hours. How are the quests for you? Like, give me an example of one of the quests that you've managed to do.
Another quest. Oh, okay. I know of a quest that I'm looking forward to. Actually, I'll mention the first quest. Now, if obviously this does include some spoilers, although obviously it's everywhere. But one of the favourite quests is there's a chest that cries, which, even though it's a great chest because it gives you a lot of money, it's very, very difficult to manage. So essentially, this certain chest, I can't remember the name of it, when it cries, it essentially sinks the ship or floods the ship. And,
Floods it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not too bad when it's not too bad when it's on like a team, because the team essentially can, you can book it out the water, you can team up, that's fine, you can keep managing it. But when you're on your own, that is a total different story. And I think that's what I like. Despite whether you're with your friends or not, it's a total different experience. And trying to manage that quest on your own, trying to sail a boat, looking out for rocks and other ships. At the same time, you've got a chest that's crying and flooding your boat, and you're panicking. It's funny because you're just running around the boat like some manic, but no, that is definitely one of the favourite quests or quest ideas. Just the fact they're personalising the chests. But I am looking forward. There is one that I've heard, I haven't found it yet, that makes you drunk while you've got the chest in your hand. So I'm really looking forward to find that one, just to see how hard it is to actually take it back to your ship while you're wandering around the island because you can't walk straight.
I want that in real life. How much money would that save me?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
It's like the guy at the party who's holding the chest. It's just like, yeah, that's Chesty Ross. I don't know what that means. He's always drunk. But, the crying chest. So we were playing a game last night with the crying chest, and we were having to adapt how we play, because usually you get 4 people above ship, doing different things, but a couple of us were having to go down under, to try and get the water at the ship when it was crying. When we got to the next part of the quest, we actually took the chest off the ship and left it on the beach, because if you leave it on the ship, when you come back, the ship might not be there, it might be sank. But also, I think that chest snores when it's not crying. Because I wasn't sure if you had fallen asleep.
Actually, that wouldn't surprise me.
I was standing about and I could hear snoring coming. I was like, that's coming from the captain's quarters. And and you were standing there, but also the chest was there. So I'm assuming that when the chest's not crying, it snores. But I like the fact that these chests have got different gameplay changing mechanics. You have to think about it. And as you said, if you get this on a solo ship while you're driving through a storm, trying to manage everything whilst a chest is crying in the background, you're having to weigh up, is the money worth it? Am I going to make it back to try and cash this chest in? I just really, really don't know. But one thing I will say is that the solo ship is fun, but you have to admit, this is a game that needs to be played with your friends, isn't it? That is what makes Sea of Thieves.
Like I say, if you can get a code word and then ban someone to the brig, or just even while you're sailing, just to get all the instruments out and play a bit of songs and just have fun with it. It's a game that's there to have fun, to just enjoy and communicate and meet other pirates essentially, and you'll get people. I've heard stories of people, docking other players' ships, but then joining them just because it's, fun to do so. And I think that's a really nice aspect. You don't find many games like that anymore. So I think it's really, really positive for Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, so to explain one of the experiences I had yesterday, we'd a 4-person ship. We were sailing about, we'd filled with chests, and we encountered another ship. You make the decision as, do you fight them or do you run? So we started to fight, and the fun involved and the risk involved in those little decisions is what makes games great. And Sea of Thieves seems to be full of that. We won the fight, but we basically had a broken ship. We had to go back straight away, cash in the chests, break up our basically our chain, what we had planned. Our plan was to move to the next island, get more items, and then head back. And I like the fact that you're constantly made with a decision that affects not just you, but your teammates. You're trying to decide as a team, should we fight? Should we run? What should we do? It's got that constant decision-making aspect. It's going to make it really, really fun. And I think that's where the longevity comes in as well. Also, one thing that was picked up on or mentioned in the progress was the quests table, which now that you see in action, is you fully understand. It doesn't matter where you are in the game. You all vote on which quest you want to do next, and you all get the same rewards regardless. So no matter how far you are in the game, it doesn't matter what your teammate or where your teammate is in the game, you can all still play together. And you can see that really, really being the future of games.
Yeah, I think that's quite good, because I know, like a lot of players have been like, oh, if we don't level up, can we play with you? Can we progress? Do we have to wait? Do we have to play more and catch up to you? And that it's another group communication that Rare replaced so nicely, that you can just, like you say, all it is a simple vote. Which quest do you want to do? And I like the names of them. All the names of the quests and stuff is very, very good. The only thing I would hope becomes a thing is you can name the boat. I think, did we name ours HM Booze Cruise last night?
Yeah, HM Booze Cruise, yeah.
The HM Booze Cruise. That'd be pretty cool if you could name it.
Yeah. I think I named the solo ship I have the HMS Brexit. But, but yeah, the funny thing is I woke up this morning and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we've got a podcast to record, but I can't wait to enter that world again. And we've played it quite a lot with the alpha and going to the studio. I don't remember it. Recently with PUBG, which I can't put down, but I can't actually remember another game like this that I've been that excited to play. And it isn't just for me playing it, it's the encounters, the different people I'm going to be playing with over the next few years. And I just personally can't wait till this game releases now that the beta's out. Rare, you've done a brilliant job. I tweeted it out yesterday as well, and seeing how well it's doing on Mixer, Twitch, everything, people just being so interested in the game, I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, definitely a big congratulations to the team for such a wonderful game. And even just seeing, like you're saying on Mixer and Twitch, you could go on, you could see everyone dressing up and everyone putting the full effort into the game because everyone just loved it so much. So yeah, definitely a big thank you and well done to everyone at Rare.
Have you been playing anything else this week, since that's how we traditionally get this show started?
Other than that, the good old PUBG.
PUBG.
Good old PUBG. I'm a little bit too addicted to it, to be fair. I did get another squad dinner, so that was lovely. That was nice to add to my very few list of chicken dinners. But no, other than that, I don't think I've even tried to look at any of the games. All I've done is sat and play PUBG all the time. What about you, Ross? I woke up very, very early this morning and I wanted to try something because I knew we were recording. Today, the EA UFC 3 trial started. So, like anyone with EA access, you get a 10-hour trial to a game 7 days before release.
Now, I've not tried career mode, but I have done a few fights. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's, other than a few amendments to the controls and the way that the hit bars work, essentially each area of the body now has health rather than an overall health bar. It's pretty much more of the same, which for me is a good thing, because I like the UFC games. I don't know if you're into the UFC, Carina.
No, not my type of games.
I thought Ronda Rousey was your idol. No?
No.
No. Okay. But yeah, no, it's fun. For me, I'm rubbish at it online, so UFC games are all about the career mode, which I thoroughly enjoy, so I probably will be picking this game up. But it is literally, for those that want to try it, if you've played the first two games, other than small amendments, it is a lot more of the same. I'll let you know next week when I've given it my full 10 hours though. But will we find out what's been happening in the subreddit this week?
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast. This week in the subreddit.
Big news coming from Microsoft this week is changes to the Xbox game subscription, Games Pass. So the main changes that were announced just a couple of days ago is that new future Microsoft exclusives will be included in Games Pass from release. And user Gaddict1 got the double hit of the Karma Lottery by posting two things about this. He posted the original story that the exclusives will be a permanent pass, and also the fact that future games will be included as well. So the three games that are specifically mentioned in the announcement are Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3. But it has already been confirmed that the next Halo game, Gears of War game, and the Forzas will also be available on launch day as part of Games Pass. Carina, I think I've ever seen you play a Games Pass game. Did you have Games Pass before this? Was it something that excited you?
I did look into it. I think when it first came out, I think we all, like everyone, got a 3-month trial. I tried that, and I think I bought the week after. The only problem was the games I wanted to play were kind of the games I already owned.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So other than that, however, I must admit this is definitely a game changer. The fact they've got new releases, for example, like Crackdown 3. I haven't played the other Crackdowns, and I don't know if I'd ever look into it really, even though it does look like a brilliant game. However, now obviously I can get the Game Pass, try it out, and then if I like it, I'll buy the game. And same with State of Decay. That one I'm really, really interested in because I've heard so much good reviews from the first one that I do want to try and look into the second one. And of course, Sea of Thieves. I mean, I was only going to get the game anyway, but it's lovely that it's come onto Game Pass. I think this is a major, major move for Xbox. Definitely a big move, and I think I think it's what Xbox needed, because I feel like Game Pass, even though people were interested, I don't feel it was as inclusive as it should have been. It was just, oh, look, it's another subscription thing, like the same old for all the, companies. And people weren't that interested, but now it's sparked quite a lot of, promise. And I think it'll be a really good move for Xbox now. Really good move. But I think BioShock's in this month, and I've played BioShock 1 and 2, but I haven't touched Infinite, so I'm definitely going to give it that try.
I think they're already in it. I'm sure they're already in it, yeah. There's a couple of 2K games getting added to Games Pass this month, which are replacements for older games. So it's WWE 2K17 replacing 16, and the same for the NBA game that they have as well. So they've just basically added the more later version. With that as well, though, the older games come off, so they are being replaced. But also, I believe Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming off as well. But if you have it installed, you can continue to play it. That's one thing, although you won't be able to install it after it comes off on the 1st of February. If you have it installed, you'll still be able to continue to play it. So it's not too bad. This came out of absolute left field for me. like absolute left field. I did not expect Games Pass to have all these games, but it includes the thing that Microsoft saying that they will include this, or games are part of a service. It's been described as the Netflix of games. Is that a fair comparison to compare it to Netflix?
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because Netflix being as so big as it is, I wouldn't want to be compared to it, but at the same time, I think, Microsoft should be flattered that they are being compared, but as a games version. And I think, essentially that is what it is. And I really do hope it hits off. If anything, promotes more exclusives. I definitely want to see more exclusives pop up from Microsoft. So it'd be nice to, put them in the Game Pass as well. But I'd agree with that statement. I definitely would say it's the Netflix of gaming.
Okay. Like, as you mentioned before, I haven't played State of Decay. I, to be honest with you, it didn't really interest me beforehand, but the fact that State of Decay 2 is in here and I have a Games Pass subscription means I'm going to play it. There is absolutely no doubt that I'll end up playing it now because it's part of it. So if you're a developer, a Microsoft Studio developer, and you know that more people are going to be playing your game that are in a similar situation to me, is that a positive for them?
I think it gives people who wouldn't necessarily look at certain type of games. I mean, I was the same like Crackdown. It never, it's never been an interest to me, even though I know it's a big loved game. But the fact now that, the third one's going to be on, I'll try it out. And if I enjoy it, then I'll gladly, buy the game and support the developers. And I think this is a big chance to show off a lot of games to people that might not necessarily look at them. Not for the fact they don't like the games, just for the fact of they might just think, oh, that doesn't seem like my type. It's like PUBG. When that was on PC, I never thought about it. And then watching streamers play it was what made me buy it on Xbox. So it's the same. If I'm getting the opportunity, just what is it? $6.99 a month or $7.99?
$7.99 a month.
$7.99 a month.
I don't know what it is in dollars, if I'm honest with you, but £7.99 certainly for us in the UK.
The whole month, that's like less. That's just about £2 per week just to play like over 100 plus games. That is brilliant service.
Why did you think that they never left this to E3? This is a big announcement. This is, when they announced backwards compatibility, it was a mic drop from Phil. From Microsoft PR, why do you think they announced this now on a random day in January and not wait until E3 and say, oh, by the way, Sea of Thieves is now included in this? Get the sales for Sea of Thieves and then drop it in the Games Pass on this date? Why do you think they never waited?
I think it could be just to do with Sea of Thieves, for essential that, like you're saying, I mean, you could go the route of let them sell the game and then put out the Game Pass, but then there's essentially the backlash of everyone who's already bought the game, and they could be like, oh, we could have tried it on Game Pass first, etc. So maybe it's that, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, they could wait to June, July, but maybe they've got something else planned. I don't know. I'm quite interested to see what Microsoft will bring this year, because last year they had the X, so that's their big announcement, so I'll be quite curious to what they bring this year.
Yeah, it makes me curious as well to think if they can announce this in a random day in January, what do they have in store?
Exactly.
I'd like to see all previous Microsoft exclusive titles getting added, so all the Forzas and everything else being added to E3. I think that would be a huge moment. Your entire Microsoft back catalogue all on here, right now, for one monthly subscription. I think that would get so many people to sign up. Also, for those that have been a PS4 owner, the majority of the generation, I believe this is a really, really smart business move. I've mentioned this before, but we're in a privileged time where people can have multiple consoles. And I'm sure that those that have a PS4 and that have got a decision to make between an Xbox and a Switch, that's a tough decision. There is great games on both of them, but something like Games Pass, which has a great back catalogue and future releases, surely that must help their purchase decision and making Xbox their second console, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Because I mean, I know it's post-Christmas, but, you know, there's always going to be what console should I get, what console to get, and just look at the library. Just look at Microsoft's library and how amazing it really is. You know, so many games.
So many. And one thing is, this going to hit them financially. You know, people that are huge Microsoft fans that would have bought those free games that were specifically mentioned for the remainder of this year. Plus, you know, I'm assuming Ori is going to be included in that. That's a Microsoft exclusive game as well, and it's due, isn't it due out later this year?
Which game, sorry?
Ori and the...
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'd be interested if they add that into it.
Exactly. And, you know, what they've not yet announced. You know, these are all games that people would have paid day one, you know, full price for. But now they're just going to be getting a monthly subscription. Is that going to affect sales of these? You know, what's your thoughts about that? You work in games retail, you study games, you know, what's your thought on the business aspect of it, the financial aspect of it?
I literally just started that yesterday. The thing is, you know, is it worth it? I mean, surely for Microsoft to do something like this big, it should be. But if you're giving over 100 games at $7.99 a month, are the developers getting money from this?
Yeah,
essentially,
yeah, I would imagine it's similar to like Spotify, where it's if the game's even launched once, they get a set amount. Depending, I don't know this for fact, but that's how I would imagine it'd work. Is once you play it once, they get a set amount, regardless of the amount of times that it's played. So it's more of like an activation fee that they would get for that than anything else, or they received a set amount at the beginning when they become part of this. But
I mean, it'll be good from the sense of, you know, people playing that might not necessarily play, but then I don't know, because normally, you know, if you're paying £50 roughly for a game that's straight to the developer, whereas, you know, it's $7.99 a month split between all these massive back catalogue of games. But is it worth? I mean, I suppose in the long run it's worth it, and especially if you're getting people that wouldn't necessarily buy the game. Because I mean, I know their aim for the Game Pass is to get people to try the game and then let them buy it at a slightly discounted price. But I don't know. I think in the long run it'll be worth it, but maybe not in the short run. But then you can tell Game Pass is here to stay. So I wouldn't be worried.
Yeah, well, for me, I was trying to do the math, right? So for me this year, I probably would have picked up Sea of Thieves. There's no doubt about it. And I may have picked up Crackdown. So for me, that's like £80, okay, roughly.
Yeah.
But with Games Pass, I'm paying £8 a month, so I'm paying £96 a month. So immediately they've gained £16 from me.
But then you've got the opportunity of having over 100 games.
Exactly. It's a bonus for me. I'm not complaining. £16 and I'll play games that I would never have probably picked up or tried or anything like that. Now, although it's not official, like, I believe that some clarifications here, the Play Anywhere also works. So if if you're on a Microsoft store, you've got Games Pass, Gears of War 4, for example, at the moment, and I can go and install Gears of War 4, you know, which is on Games Pass. That's absolutely fantastic. I can play it on PC. I can play it on Xbox. Do you think that people on PC will start to pick up Games Pass knowing that these games can be played on both platforms, even if they don't own an Xbox? Are PC users going to pick it up for the month to play Sea of Thieves?
Potentially Sea of Thieves. However, personally, I don't think at the moment. Now, this is what I really want Microsoft to bring out more Play Anywhere titles, just because obviously I travel a lot. It's great for me just to play, but I don't think there's enough on there to justify it at the moment. I mean, you've got Recall, Sea of Thieves, definitely. You know, people will play it on the PC. But for games, for maybe the other Play Anywhere titles, I don't think there's enough to allow to be for just plain old PC users without Xboxes. I don't think it's enough to justify it. But then hopefully, I really hope they bring out more Play Anywhere titles.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the whole, you know, cross-play PC and Xbox. Really big fan. So I do hope they bring out more. But at the moment, I don't think it's enough to justify just for PC games for that.
Right, well, anyway, no matter what, this seems to be a good decision for us, the gamers. Will it pay off for Microsoft? Time will tell. But other stories this week, a game that I know you are really looking forward to, because it's similar to Destiny, EA's Destiny as it's called, is Anthem, which is yesterday should I say, has been announced it's been delayed until 2019. Are you surprised?
No. No, I'm definitely not surprised with that. I did believe it possibly would be delayed, but I'm disappointed. It was one of the games I was highly excited for this year. Anthem just looks absolutely amazing. I was quite curious to how they take it though. I was waiting for more gameplay videos, but it looks like we're not going to get them for some time right now. I reckon it's just because of all the backlash EA have been getting recently, which is a shame. You know, it's not nice to see any company get backlash. But then at the same time, I'd rather a game be delayed and be better quality than them just to rush it out and then it just be another, well, essentially kind of like another Destiny 2. I hate to say it, but that's going a little bit downhill, especially with the community. And I would hate for them, because I feel like Anthem is another community game that they want to bring to the community. They want to bring up, you can do quests with your friends and things like that. And I feel I'd rather them delay it and it be perfect than them to rush it out just because people want it. So maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I'd never want to see a game getting rushed out, but I don't know what EA's big game is this year. You know, you've usually got a Battlefield, or you've usually got last year you had Battlefront, and a Need for Speed game came out. Other than the sports titles, and is it No Way Out? I think it's called, or something like that.
Oh, Way Out, yeah,
Way Out, yeah. I do not know what EA have planned for the busy Christmas or holiday period this year. Like, I don't know what title is coming out for them. They had Mass Effect last year as well. No, it's
E3 is going to be exciting this year. I think I really hope. Now I kind of want this last year, but you could predict quite a lot. I hope there's something that we just don't expect. They're the best types, the ones that you can't predict, the ones that you can just be like, oh, this looks amazing. You know, where did this come from? And hopefully that's what happens. I think that's what EA need, to be honest. I think that's what they need.
What, the surprise announcement? Here comes the next Battlefield game. It's out in 3 months. Here's all the details. Like Fallout.
There you go.
Bethesda done it with Fallout. Bethesda announced Fallout and released the game the same year. Why can't other studios or big studios like Microsoft not do the same, or EA, sorry? I would love to see them do that, but their E3 conference is going to be really interesting. Here's a bunch of games coming next year, after E3 next year. You know, like...
That's what I mean. Nowadays, it's all, here's a new game that we're going to show off. Oh, it's not coming for another 2 years, and you can predict, and then they show it again the E3 after, and it's like, we know that's coming out, give us something fresh.
Yeah, I think the consumer's changing for that. I think you may see some later announcements because people are not too happy about the delays. I disagree that this is anything to do with the backlash. I don't think
it's probably just game development.
I think it's just game development.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're a business. The longer a game takes to develop, it costs them more money. So this would not have been a light decision to take, especially after sort of announcing the year that it was due to come out. But you know, I don't think that EA are the type of company that would just postpone a game because of backlash for an unrelated title.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely, there is probably a lot more into it, and you know, we'll never know the real reason, but yeah, it probably is a game development, and you know, I'll say it again, I'd rather something be delayed and better quality. You know, Ubisoft took a year break for it. You know, what was another game? Like, you know, a lot of games get delayed these days. It's not a surprise, but if anything, they come out 10 times better. So if that's what, you know, if Anthem comes out a lot better quality, then fine. Delay it another year if need be. Please don't.
Right, well, just one last story. This is a shorter than usual episode just because of the time that we're recording and things like that. But one last little thing that we got, or I noticed on the subreddit this week, is that a person that has posted a PUBG character, it's their friend's PUBG character, who looks like Phil Spencer. And that came from Janky _XV1. What's that? XV1? That's 16, isn't it? Janky 16? Yeah. XV1 in Roman numerals. But anyway, I just thought it was a good story. If you go to the subreddit, even Major Nelson chimes in with a comment to say that he's passing the link across. But it does look as if Phil Spencer has been hit in the face squarely with a pan.
Oh, no, I've seen that. It looks brilliant. It really does. Even the picture they've attached with it looks very, very close.
But anyway, we will be back next week with a normal episode. Apologies for this shorter episode, but we wanted to give our thoughts on the Sea of Thieves beta fresh as it released. So we'll be back next week, and for another week, Xbox turn off.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
Let's do this.